What's up, everybody? Today I thought I'd share with you a quick tip that I learned when I was first starting off into archery. It's a pretty basic tip to help you recover lost arrows. Obviously, if you're practicing proper technique and if you're doing everything right that you should be, you shouldn't be losing arrows, but I think everybody of all skill levels has lost an arrow once or twice, so I think this could be useful for a lot of different people. The main key part that makes this work is this little UV flashlight right here. I think they're about $15, $20 on Amazon, depending on what you get. And I actually got mine for free because I ordered what was supposed to be an infrared flashlight, and they ended up accidentally sending me the wrong part number, a UV flashlight. And so instead of making me ship it back, they let me keep it. So that was pretty awesome. But anyway, so basically the trick is with this thing, if you use the right dyes or anything on your arrows, you can make them fluorescent, so that way this thing will light them up and make them stand out against the bare grass. That's why I'm out here in the dark right now. And so one thing I like to use is I'll use this stuff right here. This is UV glow, it's called. You can get it in the fishing section. It's generally about $5 for a little can like this. And I'll spray this on my nicer arrows, generally on the fletching and the nocks. And then for my cheap target arrows, I'll just use some fluorescent paint and paint the whole tail end with this. I don't generally like to use this stuff on my nicer arrows because it's a real mess and it just scrapes off and makes a mess on everything. So yeah, I would definitely only use it on the cheap stuff. And then here's an example of one of my arrows. This is one of my cheap target arrows. It's just got some orange fluorescent paint on it. And then one of my nicer arrows, I sprayed that fluorescent dye on there, on the fletching and on the nock, which are already pretty fluorescent, but the dye helped to really enhance it. And so when you have them both basically coated like that, what'll happen is the UV flashlight, it's barely outside of the human visual spectrum, but then when it hits that paint or that dye, it ends up getting absorbed and re-emitted as a lower energy visible spectrum light. That's why it really stands out like that. So I'll go ahead and throw these out in the grass and give you a good example of trying to find them with this flashlight. Okay, so as you can see here, the arrows are only barely visible. This is just a conventional flashlight, so I mean, the orange paint definitely does help it to stand out, but those arrows are barely visible in that grass right there. So then I'll go ahead and transition to show you what the difference would be with the UV light. They stand out like a sore thumb. That's pretty much all you can see. So it makes it a lot quicker and easier to track them down. Anyway, so that's my tip for the day. Hope you guys enjoy it. Hope you get some good use out of it. Have a good one.